My name is Andrea Bauer. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of the Greater Dayton area, and I'm here today with the candidates running for Centerville City Council. The candidates are Mark A. Engert, Belinda Kenley, Louis T. Lunford, and Jennifer McLaughlin. We will start our interviews by giving each candidate 1 minute to tell us about themselves and why they want to serve on the Centerville City Council. And Mark Engert, we'll begin with you. You
Sure,
have
great.
1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Mark Engert. I've been married to my wife, Denise Scarpino Engert, for 33 years, and she's a retired school teacher of 37 years with the city of Centerville. I have 2 kids, Christina Engert Fisher and Carolyn Engert. Both of my kids went to Incarnation School and then transferred over to Centerville High School. And my family, we've been members of Incarnation Parish for 30-some years. We are engrossed into our community. And the reason I'm running is because I absolutely love this place. I think it's the greatest place on earth. It's the greatest place to raise a family. And as I've said before, I want to protect that for the next family that wants to move in here and have the experience that my family has had. And I want to protect that for everybody coming behind me. And that's the reason why I'm running.
Thank you, Mark. And we'll move on to Belinda Kenley.
I'm Belinda Kenley. I have served on Centerville City Council for 16 years. I want to be reelected so that I can continue helping Centerville remain a place to live, work, raise a family, and then retire. I love what I do. I am passionate about supporting the businesses who choose to locate in our city, and that's really a passion of mine. I work in the private sector at Energy Optimizers USA as the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. So those skills that I've learned in my professional career, I like to use in my career on Centerville City Council. My daughter, Emily Riddle Irwin, went all through the Centerville system and taught for a number of years at PVN. She now lives in Columbus and continues teaching. I've also gotten involved in regional and statewide efforts that affect our city and have become an advocate for cities through my role as first vice president of the Ohio Municipal League. I've invested a lot of time in professional development to make sure that I'm the best that I can be in this role, and have taken numerous courses through the National League of Cities and the Ohio Municipal League, as well as Aileron. I have worked closely with city staff when I served as the chair of the Mayor's Business Advisory Task Force, and we made some really good changes to allow the businesses enhanced signing.
Belinda. And we'll move on to Louis Lunsford.
Good morning. I'm Louis T. Duke Lunsford. I've been a Centerville resident since 1978. Currently, I'm a regional sales manager for a packaging company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I authored a self-help book in 2010. I'm a motivational speaker and a life coach, and I'm current city council member. I have served on a plethora of boards and committees in Centerville from 1990 to 2019, total of 19 years. And I'm a former executive director of the Americana Festival, where I was president and parade chair, and I'm currently a trustee for Americana. I've been married to my wife, Terry, for 48 years. She just recently retired as a Centerville school teacher for 31 years. Both of my daughters, Dawn and Megan, graduated from CHS, and I'm a member of my church choir. I'm a graduate of Ohio University with a Bachelor of Science in Communications.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll move on then to Jennifer McLaughlin.
Good morning. I stand before you today with a profound commitment to our city's well-being and future. As a candidate for Centerville City Council, I envision a vibrant, bright, safe, responsible community that continually strives to be great. First and foremost, I prioritize the safety of our children. Every child deserves to go to school without fear. I pledge to work tirelessly with the Centerville School leadership, the school board, Washington Township leadership, and the sheriff's office to get a school resource officer in every school, providing a safe environment for every student to learn and thrive. Furthermore, responsible development is also key to me in preserving our city's character. We need to balance growth and preserving our neighborhoods and green spaces. I advocate for thoughtful, sustainable development that enhances the quality of life and protects home values.
Thank you,
Lastly-
Jennifer.
Thank you.
At this point, we are going to move on with some questions. And I will mix up the order with each one of the questions so we are not always starting with the same person. You will have 2 minutes to speak to each question, and then I will move on to the next candidate and give them 2 minutes to respond. So we're going to begin the questions now. The first question is, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city? And Belinda Kenley, we're going to start with you. And if you would answer that question, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city?
Well, as most of us are aware, Uptown Centerville is hot and growing like crazy. The businesses around us and new businesses are starting. They want to be part of this economic growth. However, City Council and staff must make wise decisions about the types of businesses that we allow and incentivize, as well as addressing traffic and parking issues. We are working on those traffic and parking issues right now, and within a very short time, there will be an additional 130 parking spaces available. Second, our population is aging. We must attract young people to come back to Centerville after college and choose Centerville to grow, to raise their families and work here. Third, I see balancing the desire of commercial property owners who want to sell their properties or businesses that are just not a good fit for the location, despite meeting zoning guidelines. We have to be really wise about the choices that we make in allowing developers and commercial properties in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. And we're going to move on to that question now to Louis T. Lunsford. And the question is, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city?
Well, thank you very much, Andrea, for the question. And it is a very interesting challenge right now for Uptown Centerville. You see a lot of construction going on, but the main problem or challenge, let me just say challenge, not a problem, is the parking situation. But there's a lot of construction. We are aware of that, and we are trying to rectify that as fast as we can. According to a study that was done back in 2021, a housing study for the city predicted that the Centerville would lose significant population and housing units as of the 2008, but the city has shown extreme stability. Financial health of Centerville households is positive. Centerville can support raising a family and maintaining a home. The city has shown great progress by constructing 1,000 new housing units. Centerville owner housing unit percentages is comparable and better than its neighboring jurisdiction. So we are aware of what is going on within our community, and we are right on top of it.
Thank you, Louis. And now we'll ask that question to Jennifer McLaughlin. And the question is, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city?
Thank you, Andrea. I think there's 3 basic challenges that all cities face. One is budgetary constraints, with revenue sources often fluctuating during due to economic changes. Makes it very difficult to balance budgets while meeting the community needs And I think that requires prudent financial management and oversight. Public safety would be number 2. I think we face a new dual challenge of maintaining a well-staffed, equipped police department while adapting to the emerging threats of like cybercrime and substance abuse. The third and final biggest challenge is economic development. Our development efforts need to attract and retain businesses, stimulate job growth, and foster economic equality. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Mark A. and Engert, we'd like
Yes.
to ask that question to you. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city?
I think the biggest challenge the city faces is something that Belinda brought up, and Duke and Jennifer. We have to attract a younger crowd. We want those young families to come here and enjoy those amenities that we have. The city, for example, I always like to say we want to set the table for those that want to come here and live and want to do business here. And so far, just in the past 8 years, take a look at the changes we've made at Stubbs Park. Look at the new park we added over at Cornerstone. So we're setting the stage and the table for these young families to move in here. We have one of the best school systems. We have churches, we have synagogues, we have everything you want to raise a family in the Midwest tradition. And it's a wonderful place to call home. It's more wonderful to raise a family. And those are the things that we want to spread throughout Southwest Ohio, that Centerville is where you want to raise a family, where you want to come and live. There's so much to do here in this city. And we just, that is the biggest issue facing our city, is making sure that the young people out there understand that Centerville is the place you want to be. It's a safe place, a great place to send your kids to school, great place to open a business, and a great place just to call home. And it's very warm and friendly and cheerful here in Centerville. So we got to get that word out.
Thank you. Thank you all for your responses for the first question. We are going to move on to the second question. And again, you'll have 2 minutes to respond. The second question is, what should the city council do to address housing needs in the city? And Lewis T. Lunsford, we're going to begin with you. And that question is again, what should the city council do to address the housing needs in the city?
Well, thank you very much again, Andrea. Excellent question. What we do as a council is our professional staff, they first review some developers that come to them and they say, okay, this is what we are presenting. And then once city staff does their due diligence, as well as our city manager, they then come to us as a council and they say, okay, this is what we're presenting. This is exactly what the developer has. Then it's in the hands of the council whether this is the proper move as far as whether it be single homes, whether it be 55 and up, whether it be, apartment buildings. We then come together as a collective in the interests of both not only the city, but the residents of Centerville to make an educated, well-educated decision as far as where it's going to be placed, how it's going to be placed, and whether this is going to be the best decision for the city as well as the residents.
Thank you very much, Lewis. And we're going to move on with that from that question to Jennifer McLaughlin. And the question again is, what should the city council do to address the housing needs of the city?
Thank you. I think it's also a common city housing need that everyone faces, and that's the adequate supply of housing to accommodate a population growth and changing demographics that you have to pay attention to. As a part of the changing demographics, I think city council needs to understand a plan for the aging population and need for senior housing options. I think Centerville currently has great senior options, but I don't know of a plan, and I think we should have a plan for other options. Council also needs to prioritize the enforcement of city home maintenance and upkeep policies. I think enforcement of these policies will enhance community appeal and property values and neighborhood quality. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And now we'll move on to Mark A. Engert, with that same question. What should the city council do to address the housing needs in the city?
Well, like Duke said in the past, we've added quite a few rental units to the city. I think, like you said, there's over 1,000 units in the past 8 years. So we have met that need. We are also now building single family units over at Cornerstone. George Over Group is building some single family units over there. Our aging population with St. Leonard's, Bethany, and Randall residents, we have met those needs pretty strong. I agree with Jennifer that we need to make sure that the homeowners and the businesses are upkeeping their properties. Other than that, I think the city's done a very, very good job of making sure that we have the units available for people that want to choose Centerville as a place to live and age, for that matter. We have one of the oldest populations in Southwest Ohio, and that says something about the city of Centerville, that once people move here, they don't leave. They want to stay here. And that's what we're trying to do. We want to get these young people to have that same thought process that, you know, this place where we call home is the best place to be. And we get those young people moving in here. It's a wonderful place, and there's plenty of housing stock here. So Centerville's in a good position in terms of housing availability for people wanting to move in and age in the city.
Thank you very much, Mark. Belinda Kenley.
Thank you. As part of our strategic plan, that was the first strategic plan that the city had developed in 2018, we addressed this issue through the goal of having us will actively and regularly assess its infrastructure and housing options to identify opportunities for neighborhood improvements and economic viability. One of the things that we did is offer tax abatement for improvements that homeowners are making to their properties through the Community Reinvestment Act. Further, we have partnered with Rebuilding Together Dayton and churches to help those elderly homeowners who are very strapped financially and unable to take care of their exterior properties as they should. We reach out to them and connect them. Also, we've had a number of quality rental properties or multifamily units that have been built over the last 3 or 4 years that offer appealing homes for empty nesters who no longer want to take care of a big house and yard, while also appealing to young professionals. So we continue to monitor the situation. We look at our community as in neighborhoods, and we work hard to fulfill our strategic plan goal of providing opportunities for neighborhood improvements.
Thank you very much. And now we'll move on to our third question, which is describe the skills and experiences you will bring to the city council. And Jennifer McLaughlin, we'd like you to answer that question for us first. And the question is, again, describe the skills and experiences you will bring to the city council.
Thank you. Just some quick background. I went and graduated from the University of Dayton. I played basketball for the women's basketball team all 4 years. I think I bring a strong team building perspective. I was born and raised in Centerville, Ohio. I am very familiar with the town. I chose to raise my 3 children, and they all went through Centerville City Schools. I will bring many applicable skills and experience from my 25-year career in the automotive industry as a business systems manager. Some highlighted skills that I definitely think that will help is data analysis, training and development, crisis management, problem solving, communication, financial management, strategic planning, and change management, and always continuous improvement. As a proven leader with these skills and experience, I know I can make a positive impact on both the city and its residents, and I just would like the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to move on with that question to Mark A. Engert. And the question is again, describe the skills and experiences you will bring to the city council.
Thank you for the question. This will be I'm wrapping up my second term, running for a third term. So I bring in the experience of having been on council before. I think my skill set, hang on one second. My skill set working at General Electric in their Six Sigma program is very important to me. The things I learned, like Jennifer said, continuous improvement. You have to be able to measure what you're doing. You got to be able to measure it in an effective way. And I think we brought some of that to the city of Centerville already with some of our programs that measure how we do, for example, the police station and how long it takes to respond to a call. With our strategic plan, we're continually monitoring ourselves. My leadership training at Airborne Express many years ago, again, allows me to help form those bonds and help provide leadership in the council chambers. My current position with Stryker Orthopedics is crisis management. We are all constantly bringing and taking instruments to hospitals for emergency situations. That's very time sensitive. So I think those skill set with the history that I've gained in the past 8 years makes me a good fit to continue this ride that Centerville is currently on and take it into the future.
Thank you very much, Mark. And now I'd like to ask Belinda Kenley the same question. Describe the skills and experiences you will bring to the city council.
Thank you. I have 16 years of experience on city council. I'm not tired of this role. I love it, and I want to continue. I've had numerous leadership roles within council, including 4 years as deputy mayor. Even more than that, I've been very involved with the business community, and I believe in building collaborative relationships across the board. Township, city, schools, library, parks district. Collaboration is a key value that I hold dear, and I believe that's one of my strengths. I've served on numerous nonprofit boards, and I'm currently on the Montgomery County Convention Facilities Authority, the board that owns the Dayton Convention Center, and I have extensive knowledge of economic development and economic tools. As a former member of the staff of the Ohio Attorney General, I developed great respect for the police department, and we have a fantastic police department. I want to make sure that we keep it strong, that our officers have what they need and our full support. So I bring 16 years of experience on council, as well as my background in sales and marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. And Louis T. Lunford, I'd like to ask you that same question. Describe the skills and experiences you will bring to the city council.
Thank you, Andrea. My very first month of being on city council, which was January of 2020, I felt right at home due to the many years of volunteering throughout the city of Centerville from 1990 to 2019. I was a volunteer coach, director, and president of many youth programs, and eventually was handpicked by retired Colonel Jim Reppert to become the executive director of Americana. I knew that when I was asked to run for council in 2019, I was not only ready, but I was humbled as I ran for such an incredible governing body. Because of my background and what I do for an occupation, I have to listen to a lot of my customers. So I listen to the residents here in Centerville as I joined council, and then we come together and make the right decision. Listening is one of my biggest attributes.
Thank you very much, Louis. Now we'd like to move on to our closing. In the closing, we would like to provide each one of you with 1 minute for a closing statement. And Mark A. Engert, we're going to begin with you. That's 1 minute for a closing statement.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the forum too, by the way. I want to thank the League of Women Voters. Question is, why am I running again? I have an unbridled passion for this place we call Centerville. It's a place where I've raised my family. It's a place that I greatly call the greatest place on earth. I've always said I live on the greatest street, in the greatest city, in the greatest state, in the greatest country in the world. And again, I want to pass that passion to the next family that comes along. And in the past 8 years, we have seen the city grow. For example, we have upgraded our computer system. It used to be a DOS-based system only 8 years ago. Now it's a window-based, and we are at the forefront. We are the tip of the spear when it comes to computers in the southwest part of Ohio. We have a new dispatch center, Class 1 dispatch center for our police department. Our police department is the best in Southwest Ohio. Every road in the city of Centerville.
Thank you very much, Mark. And we would like to take 1 minute now for Belinda Kenley to make a closing statement.
Thank you. After serving on city council for 16 years, I am not ready to walk away. I want to be reelected so that I can continue work on our strategic plan to ensure that our staff and council are in line with our goals and make sure that our city is fiscally, financially sound, and is also a great place to live, work, and retire. I love our neighborhoods. We have all unique neighborhoods, and I want to see those continue to thrive. I really would like to continue my service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Belinda. And Louis T. Lunsford, we'd like to give you 1 minute for a closing statement.
Thank you very much, Andrea. And I would also like to thank the League of Women Voters for this forum this morning. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Centerville is the home of the elk. E stands for Engert. L stands for Lunsford. K stands for Kenley. There is no J or M in elk. Thank you very much for your vote in November, and God bless.
Thank you, Louis. And Jennifer McLaughlin, 1 minute for a closing statement.
Thank you. In closing, I want to emphasize a shared vision for safety, thriving community, and accountable community. Ensuring the safety of our children, placing a school resource officer in all 13 buildings is a non-negotiable for me. We must protect these learning environments. This is why I have been formally endorsed by Phil Plummer, Ohio State Representative and former Montgomery County Sheriff from 2008 to 2018. I have also have a meeting set up with our current sheriff, Rob Streck, to discuss how to get all these interested parties to get additional SRO money into the budget and ultimately into schools. With my 25-year career in the automotive industry and all the skills and experience I bring, I do believe that together we can create a city that we're all proud to call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you all for participating. Good luck in your campaigns. The League of Women Voters encourages candidates to run an issues-oriented campaign. Our goal is to educate the voting public and strengthen our elective process. The annual Voters Guide will be distributed mid-October in the Dayton Daily News, the AIM Media suburban newspapers, and at local libraries, schools, and businesses. Early voting for the upcoming election begins October 11th at your Board of Elections, or you can request an absentee ballot. However you decide to vote, your opinion matters and helps make our democracy work.